It's Super Sak Saturday, and today I have a tinker to show you, but this isn't just any ordinary tinker. This is one that I made some 3D printed scales for, and I replaced the original scales. These hold quite a few more items. You have your tweezers and your toothpick that they normally hold. This one has a pin. In addition to that, you have the Victorinox pen. If you flip it over, on this side, you have a fire steel. And then one more item. Over here, you have a micro SD card. My 3D printer takes micro SD cards, and so do some cameras that I have. So this is a very handy tool. It contains the things that I need, and it's definitely an enhancement over how this was stock. I'm going to print out some new covers. I want to do some different designs that have more traction on them rather than just this texture. So look for that in the future. Now, some other things that I've been making. Let me zoom out a little bit. These are just some little EDC containers. And then some holders. These have dovetails, so they will slide together. You can mount that on the wall and pop these in here. Now, one of these I'm probably going to do fire starters. One I might do some water purification tablets and stuff like that. This one I'll probably make some cotton balls and Vaseline and put in here, just so I have some stuff ready to go. Now, one other thing that these actually have, must be on this one here, there's a slot where you can put an O-ring, so you get a watertight seal. So I have some other O-rings. There's a slot down in there. Just push these in. Once they're pretty well seated, you'll screw it on and let that finish seating it. And there we go. And then the last one. I don't think they look that good in white. I usually use white for prototyping. So this is a smaller one that I can put on my keyring. Pretty soon it'll be allergy season, and I can keep a couple allergy pills in there, because I seem to always forget to take them. That way I can have a couple with me, and maybe a couple aspirin in addition to that. Okay, let's move this stuff off. And I've also been making some holders. I'll take the camera off in a second and I'll show you what these are for. And then also these. And let me go show you what they do. Okay. So here are the holders mounted underneath the shelf. They're battery holders for my power tools. And there's other hold downs. You can see the stack of boxes here on that dolly. They attach the boxes to the dolly. So if you pick up the whole stack, the dolly comes with it. Next, I have the final design in color for the sharpening guides. These are from 10 to 20 degrees. So what you can do is, if you want to sharpen this blade, you take one of these. Like for this one, let me find a 13. Of course, it's going to be the last one, isn't it? Yep. I'll put the 13 on there and attach it to the stone with the rubber band. Then all you do is you take your knife, you lay it on the guide, bring it down to the stone, and then maintain that angle. So that'll give you the angle to start with. Makes freehand sharpening very easy. and you'll get consistent angles, and you won't have such rounded off edges. So this is the final color. This is what they look like. They're all labeled with the angle on them. From 10 to 20 in 1 degree increments. So if you want a 30 degree inclusive bevel, you use the 15 degree per side adapter, because these are measured in degrees per side. Other things I've been making is some more of my leather conditioner. I've already had it in these tins, but I'm trying something new. This is kind of like a deodorant container. So you can raise this up and you can apply it directly. These are pretty nice. So I'm going to make these available on my Etsy store also. And I think that's about it for the new stuff and for things that I've been 3D printing. There'll be more stuff to come as I'm working on a sharpening system that's going to be a replacement for this thing. The problem with this is it has 20 degree per side built-in guides, and they're not changeable. And the issue is most of our knives do not have any place to register off of that's flat. For example, here on the tang, that's flat. If you registered off the tang, you would end up with a 20 degrees per side or 40 degrees inclusive, which I think is way too obtuse of an angle anyway. So if the full flat grind on your knife is 3 degrees per side, you'll be not sharpening at 40, you'll be sharpening at 46 degrees, and that's really obtuse. That's no good. So you need a way to put different angle guides on here so you can match up the angle with the bevel on the knife. So that's what I plan to do, is make a new base that'll take stones of a similar size. You can even get these work sharp stones as a replacement. You get the coarse, which I think is around $220, and then the fine, which is $600, for around $15. So I may even design it to use work sharp stones. So that's one problem, is you need adjustable angles. The second problem is the ceramic rods. Ceramic rods work okay on our old carbon steel traditionals. They'll actually work fine up through S35VN. I've never tried S45VN. But once you go any higher than that in your steels, the carbide structure, the coarse carbides in the steel, are actually harder than the ceramic. And they'll stick in the ceramic and get ripped off, so it messes up your edge. You think you're getting a sharp edge, but it's going to be glassy. It's not going to be toothy, and it's not going to last like it should be. So it's best not to sharpen some of your premium steels on ceramic rods. Next, they load this leather strop, which I'm not too happy with the quality of this leather anyway, but they load this leather strop with your old-fashioned green compound. That's not hard enough of an abrasive to cut your newer steels. So I want to make one that uses stones of this size. I'll probably go with a magnetic attachment, just like what these have. So these come off with them and are held on by a magnet. I want to do something similar, but adjustable slide on or snap in, maybe magnetically held angle guides that you can change out. And instead of the ceramic, I want to put leather on both sides, but a higher quality leather with 2 different grits of diamond compound. And that'll make a very nice portable sharpening system that'll be adaptable to your needs, rather than what you're stuck with this thing. And it's good for what it is, and it works great for traditional knives, but it is totally inadequate for new steels. So those are projects that I'm working on and things that I have planned, and we'll see you on the next one.